Well, the first installment of the El Trafico 2026 edition ends with LAFC winning 3-0 over the LA Galaxy. And it was really never close. Even though LAFC didn't really look spectacular by any means, the Galaxy looked really, really bad in this match. But there's a lot of positives to take away this game, especially if you're an LAFC fan. And the number one thing is that Son Heung-min finally gets on the score sheet for the first time in the 2026 MLS regular season. He had like 46 shots this season and 0 goals, but his luck finally turned and he's able to score. And this is big for his confidence, especially after the beginning of the first half of the MLS season and the poor run by South Korea in the 2026 World Cup. So we're going to talk about all that and what I think about this match. So let's start off with the first half in this game. Hey, real quick, if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're growing like crazy. The World Cup is among us, and we have a lot of content you guys are not going to want to miss. So also make sure you guys hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of our videos. Now, LAFC and LA Galaxy have not played each other in a year. It's like July 19th, 2025 was the last time they played. So this is the first installment for a lot of these players. Son Heung-min's first ever El Trafico match, more specifically. And the LA Galaxy, right? They sold Gabriel Peck. We know Puig has been hurt for two years now. João Klaus isn't playing in this game. This is a makeshift team right now for the LA Galaxy, and they had Marco Reus playing as a false 9. There's a lot of question marks about the team in the final third, and that's kind of what we saw tonight. And then on the flip side, we saw LAFC with Segura, Chouanier, and Delgado as the midfielders. Another interesting lineup for LAFC, and I thought this game would be closer than what it was. I was expecting it to be a 2-2 draw. Man, I was wrong. So in the first half, it was pretty stagnant. I don't think anything looked too crazy by either side. I thought that LA Galaxy, they showed a little bit. They were a lot better, I think, the first 15 minutes, maybe the first half, and then they kind of really faltered in the second half. But in the 26th minute, Delgado shoots the ball. It bounces off the defender. He gets the rebound, and he scores to put LAFC up 1-0. Now, Delgado has been a very inconsistent player for LAFC in 2026. And so having him get on the score sheet this early is a good sign. It's good for morale. Help them get their confidence in this match. And keep in mind, this game was at LA Galaxy. It was at Dignity Health Sports Park. I'm used to call it the StubHub Center, but it was at home for the Galaxy, and they really, really struggled. This used to be a fortress for them, and they were able to silence the crowd in the 26th minute. The LAFC were. So LAFC get on the score sheet first. Then in the 45th minute, Bouanga gets chopped down. I think it was by Justin Hack. He took a spike in the back of the calf / Achilles, right? And Denis Bouanga took the penalty and scored. Son Heung-min was going to take it at first, but I thought that was going to be good for his confidence because he had a couple shots in the first half that were deflected. But he ended up letting Denis Bouanga take it, which I thought was a mistake at first because he just really needs to get that confidence, right? He needs to find the back of the net, even if it's off of a penalty, to try to get his confidence. And he let Denis Bouanga take it, and he buried it, put him up 2-0 into the half. So the Galaxy are down 2-0. It feels like they're just absolutely cooked at this point. They have no creativity in the final third. They got 3 shots in the first half, 1 on target to LAFC 7 and on 2. It just feels like they're lost. And they led possession 56-44 in the first half, the LA Galaxy, which you would have never known. It was a lot of dead space. Like, they didn't really do much with it. And I have to mention Tommy, the left winger, who I think they were really hoping could take the mantle with Peck being out, possibly if he's a starter and they're not able to sign another winger. He went out in the 22nd minute with looked like maybe a hamstring, a pulled muscle. It didn't look very good, though. It was non-contact. And he got subbed out in the 22nd minute and did not look good. We'll see what happens with him. So this game, it ends the first half 2-0. LAFC's got all the momentum. Looks like they're going to potentially run away with this. Is LA Galaxy going to make any substitutions? They don't. They roll with the same exact starting 11. And it was kind of more the same. They don't have anything. Like Marco Reus, even at one point was way deep trying to get the ball to get things going, and he couldn't. He kind of disappeared more in the second half. I thought his first half was much better than his second half. He disappeared in the second half. Joseph Paintsil is a waste of a DP. He was off all night. He was making bad passes. He had miscommunications, more specifically with Reus, making bad runs, balls going out of bounds. I mean, he shows his pace, but his technical ability on the ball is very questionable at this point. Just he looks a shell of himself in 2024. Might be time to move off of Joseph Paintsil because he's just not the same. So that was just very, very frustrating and to see for the Galaxy. The back line was horrible. I mean, Justin Hack and Glesnes did not look good. Nelson was getting fried all night. I thought he looked bad. Yamane, all right. I think he did as well as he could on Denis Bouanga. Misevic was tested tonight. He had a couple key saves. He had a curler on Denis Bouanga. Denis Bouanga was looking really good tonight. It's one of the better games he's had all season with the he had this nutmeg in the final third or in the box in the, I want to say it was the second half, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the second half. He had a nutmeg that was incredible. I mean, he looked really, really good. This is one of Denis Bouanga's best games all season. Looked very explosive, looked in control, looked confident. That's what you want to see with him, especially if you expect to get LAFC to go anywhere this year. But he looked really, really good in the second half. Son Heung-min able to score, and it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a tap-in. This is a beautiful goal. He scored on the right side. This was so big for him, and I mentioned this earlier in the video. This was so big for him because now that mental barrier has been lifted, or he's crossed it. No more pressure on him. Just find the back of the net. As a striker, a goal scorer, when you go so many games without scoring, I think this was like their 16th game. When you go that many games without scoring, it really affects your mental, your thinking, your morale, everything about you. It affects everything. And then also not scoring at the 2026 World Cup, which I don't think I'm pretty sure he didn't score at the 2026 World Cup either. It starts to get in your head and you start to question yourself, all these things, right? But he was able to overcome that, finally find the back of the net, and I think this is going to really help him blossom maybe the second half of the season. If you remember, he came in the second half of the season last year when LAFC bought him, and that's when he really flourished and he played very, very well. So we'll see what he does in the second half. I still don't have confidence in Marc Dos Santos, but we'll see. Cerrillo got a second yellow card, so he's going to be out for the next game for LA Galaxy with a yellow card accumulation. But overall, LAFC scored. They could have maybe scored more. It felt like the Galaxy really just gave up. Hey everyone, quick word from our sponsor, FanDuel. If you're into soccer like I am, you already know how exciting La Liga, the Premier League, and MLS matches can get. With FanDuel, you can make it even more fun by placing bets on your favorite teams and matches across all three leagues. Whether it's a Premier League showdown, a La Liga thriller, or an MLS game with your local club, FanDuel makes it easy and exciting to bet on what you watch. Just remember, you have to be 21 years or older to play. Please bet responsibly and only if you're of legal age and in a state where it's allowed. Download the FanDuel app or head over to FanDuel.com, sign up, and get in on the action. Thanks for supporting the channel through FanDuel. My biggest takeaway from this game is that the Galaxy are a broken team and they're super bad. Like they're not a good team at all. Like they would, if this was pro rel, they'd be relegation. They would be in that relegation zone. Like this is, thank God there's not relegation in MLS for their sake, right? they'd be screwed. They're just not a good team. Now they're supposedly making several signings, maybe 4 to 5. They brought in Robert Taylor. Wasn't impressed with him. Haven't been impressed with him in years. But this team just feels very broken, like bandaged together. Like not a very good team. And they're not very well coached. Greg Vanney's a joke. He's not good. He's not a good manager at all. I don't think he lucked his way into an MLS Cup in 2024 thanks to a star-studded team. He's not a good manager, and he proves it over and over again that he's not good. So the Galaxy, my biggest takeaway from this game is not how good LAFC played, but just how bad the Galaxy are. Like the Galaxy are so bad. They're so bad. They need so many things. And I've been saying constantly that they need to get a player like Mo Salah to come in here. It would help rejuvenate the team with quality, with name, everything, all the above. It would be a home run signing for the Galaxy, and they just need so much. They need a creative playmaker. And on the LAFC side, even with the win, they showed some deficiencies too. They still need a playmaker in the middle that can help the attack. They need someone that can pull the strings in the middle still, and they have a DP spot open, so they still could possibly do that. And I thought Schaffelberg looked good too. I have to mention, I do think he looked pretty good. Hollingshead I didn't even notice. Like that's how that's how little he was challenged in this game. I didn't even notice him, Ryan Hollingshead. So LAFC showed promise. They get a win. And keep in mind, they had a really bad spell where they lost several games. They beat the Sounders before the 2-month break, but they looked pretty good in this game compared to what they had looked like in games past. So this is what you want to see if you're LAFC, that they're on the upward trajectory. And they got a tough game against Real Salt Lake in a couple days too, and I think next Wednesday. But my biggest takeaway is, my God, LAFC maybe on the upswing. LA Galaxy, horrible, one of the worst teams in MLS. I think they're in big trouble if they don't add anything. But yeah, I think that this was clearly shows. And by the way, this is, I forgot to even mention this. This is one of the worst El Trafico matches I've ever seen. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. I think this might be the most lopsided win of all time. I think this might be the most lopsided. I don't think that there's ever been a team that has lost 3-0 in this rivalry. Okay, yeah, there has. In 2020, there was. 2020. But that's it. This is only the second time that a team has won 3-0, and that one was the Galaxy beating LAFC 3-0. But normally this game is super close. It's very competitive. This was a bad game, and now the series is tied 10-7. So this is one of the worst ones I've seen in a very long time. Normally it's a 3-3, 4-2, 2-1, 4-2. I mean, you get all kinds of crazy scores in these games. This one was just one-sided. It just felt pathetic. These two teams meet again October 25th. We'll see what happens and who plays, how they play. But hey, LAFC, one of the better games they've had this year, even if it's not what you still want to see. They're on the upward trajectory. Son Heung-min gets his confidence back. That is key. It's what they need for the final stretch this season. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. Did you think LAFC was impressive, or do you think the Galaxy were just that bad? Let me know down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.